May it not surprise you when a fool outsmarts a wise man, for even a rock can break a diamond. A Persian Parable. A first-class jeweler and swindler who passed off his intricately crafted glass as gemstones. Even today, a dress decorated with these imitation diamonds will cost you quite a bit of money. Did you guess who the infamous crook is yet? Well, think again, because it's George Strauss and his rhinestones. This video, however, is dedicated to Daniel Swarovski, an honest man who allowed people to shine without spending a fortune on real diamonds, and won the love of customers with his outstanding talent. Although his products are little more than simple glass, they've been synonymous with prestige and luxury for over 100 years. In this video, you'll learn what makes Swarovski crystals so unique, as well as the role Queen Victoria and rifles played in the jeweler's story. Born to shine. Swarovski was born in 1862 in a small village in the Austrian Empire. He had the luck of being born the son of a glass cutter. His father had his own crystal cutting factory in Bohemia. But Swarovski didn't owe his success to luck alone. The future jeweler was a curious and hard-working boy. He showed interest for his father's business too, and from an early age he learned the art of glass cutting. His parents didn't know whether little Daniel would eventually commit himself to the family business or engineering that he was so passionate about. He showed an interest in machinery of all kinds and dreamed of being an inventor just as much as a jeweler. Turning point. After school, young Swarovski moved to Paris to study engineering. The university was an easy ride for Daniel, but after graduation he decided to come back home. Working in his father's factory, he saved money and used it to visit the electricity exhibition in Vienna. The day became a turning point in his life. Edison's inventions left a strong impression on Daniel. They prompted him to combine his two dreams and use electrical equipment for cutting crystal glass. Starting a career. After years of hard work and tireless effort, Daniel's efforts were rewarded. He designed the first electric cutting machine that worked with remarkable accuracy and speed. Daniel's success didn't go unnoticed. The authorities decided to support the young inventor by granting him a patent and providing funds for his business. Swarovski kept increasing production until he realized that the mountainous region of Tyrol offered better opportunities for his business. He moved to a small town called Wattens and rented a vacant textile factory building where he started the production of his new invention, along with some rhinestone jewelry. In 1895, the Swarovski AG Company was founded. Curiously, among his first clients was Queen Victoria herself. This was through her dressmaker, called Frederick Worth, who was the father of haute couture. As the business kept growing, the brilliant engineer and jeweler bought out not only the rest of the factory, but also the local hydroelectric power station, along with a huge piece of land adjacent to it. The company developed at a staggering pace. By the 20th century, the staff had grown from 5 to 100 people. The company became widely known, not least thanks to Queen Victoria and her dressmaker. Conquering the world. In 1911, together with his sons, Daniel created a technology for the production of exceptionally brilliant, transparent artificial glass. The technology became a trade secret. Because of that, Swarovski stones were quite unique. Nobody could imagine that simple crystal glass could shine so bright. Daniel sent the first jewelry samples to Paris and St. Petersburg, which the smart set of France and Russia found delightful. Swarovski managed to change how people saw imitation jewelry, turning it from cheap trinkets into the genuine article. Before long, Swarovski stone came into fashion, and people started lining up to get some of the crystal diamonds. During the First World War, the demand for jewelry plummeted. Yet Daniel managed to adapt to the new reality by launching the production of abrasive materials that were in high demand by the Austro-Hungarian army. Even after the war, the jeweler continued to develop new lines of business. Thus, the company started manufacturing optical products, like lenses, binoculars, telescopes, and gun sights. The company was largely successful in its new niche, and during the Second World War, the production of binoculars and gun sights became the priority of the business. World War II. In 1938, after Austria was seized by the Third Reich, Daniel joined the Nazi party NSDAP. So did his sons and most of the company's workers. The old businessman, however, did not engage in politics and instead kept producing his beloved gems. Even though the opposing countries ceased trading, through neutral countries, Swarovski supplied U.S. stores with his jewelry throughout the entire war. In 1945, Daniel Swarovski managed to avoid losing his business, despite having collaborated with the Nazi regime. The authorities of post-war Austria were lenient with the old jeweler, who by that time was over 80 years old. After a short trial, he was acquitted of all charges, so the restrictions on international trade were lifted. Prime of life. The decades after the war were the most successful for Swarovski's company. Up until the 1960s, Swarovski AG was Austria's largest exporter, and the smart diversification policy helped the company survive all the crises. Marilyn Monroe's famous performance, where she sang "Happy Birthday, Mr. President," was also remembered for the dress she wore. It was decorated in 2,500 hand-sewn Swarovski crystals. Later, in 2016, this dress was auctioned off for nearly $5 million. Unfortunately, Daniel Swarovski did not live to see any of it. He died at the age of 93 in 1956, 6 years before Marilyn's performance. After Daniel's death, his children took over the management of the company. Swarovski stones are popular to this day. Fashion designers from Gucci, Versace, Dior all use Swarovski crystals for their collections of clothes, shoes, and accessories. Swarovski products are valued not only by fashion designers. Case in point, the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque is bejeweled with millions of Swarovski crystals. Daniel was a brilliant jeweler and designer. The family business he started has been around for 127 years. He was a man who founded a jewelry empire and allowed anyone, rich and poor alike, to shine.